Okay, and we are starting. Hello, everyone. Hi. Okay, good. So let's start. So this webinar came about because someone asked me, someone has an actual problem, an actual physical problem, and he says that he has many friends that has serious physical problems that they don't know how to fix, and the medical doctor done what they can, and he wants to have the spiritual viewpoint as to what can be done about the body. And this is what we are going to discuss in the next few webinars. Actually, I'm going to make it into a series of a few webinars. This is just the introduction. It will take more or less an hour. I'll give you an introduction, so you will discover some new things about the body, and you will see that you actually can do much more than you think with your body. Okay, so let's start. By the way, when I'm looking down, I'm looking at your comments, and when I'm looking forward, I'm looking at the presentation, so you see like I'm talking to you. Okay, so far so good, everyone. Fine? Yes. Excellent. Perfect. Okay, so let's start. First of all, I want to have some agreements with you. Okay, here we go, agreements. First of all, most important, nothing I say today is true unless, of course, it is true for you. So what you need to do is to take what I tell you, check for yourself. Does it make sense to you? And if it makes sense to you, perfect. Don't think about, oh, this is what I heard, or this is what someone told me, or this is what science say, or anyone say. You need to look for yourself. Okay, so this is the first prerequisite. Number two, nothing I teach you is new. You already know it. Now, how do I know it? Because when I tell you something, you look at what you already know and you say, I agree or not. So you actually know everything. And one of the definition of the word spirit is this thing that knows. Spirit is this thing that knows. So nothing that I teach you is new. So don't be surprised if you will feel that, oh, but I know it. Yes, but you didn't know it a second ago. You were not aware of it. You know it, but you were not aware of it. So it didn't actually help you. What I teach you is not just theories, it's proven facts, but they need to be implemented in an exact manner, and it is different to what you are used to. So what I'm telling you is totally different to what you are used to. It's actually, I can tell you that probably everything that you think is in one way is actually at the opposite way. This universe is a totally 180 degrees lie. And as we will continue, you will discover it more and more and more. What I'm going to teach you is not what everyone knows and agrees to. What everyone knows and agrees to does not result in success. Most people fail most of the time, and not only in regards to their health. Most people fail most of the time because what they think they know is actually a lie. If you really knew everything, you wouldn't be able to fail. So obviously the question, if you are the thing that know, if the spirit is this thing that know, how come you fail? How come you don't know? That's what we will discover. It is the ability to confront the data, to figure out what is true and what is false in the sea of misinformation that will produce the result. So I'm going to give you things and I'm going to help you. You will figure out what is right and what is wrong for you. It's not because I said that it's right, but because you will discover what is right and what is wrong for you. And by separating truth from falsity, what you get is knowingness. When you actually can separate true from falsity, the end result is knowingness. Not truth and not false, just knowing. And that's what we are after. Okay. Now I want to start with a quick drill just to demonstrate something. And what I need you to do is when I say start, when I say start, only when I say start, I want you to measure for how long you can inhale, like for how long you can take an inhale. Okay, so start. Take a deep breath and measure how long you can do it, and tell me, just write in the chat how many seconds. How long you can just inhale, inhale, inhale. Just write to me in the chat. 10 seconds, 15 seconds, 30 seconds, 20 seconds. How long you can inhale? 12 seconds. Good, John. 15 and a 12. Very good. 10. Excellent. Now, why did we do this drill? Why did we do this drill? You will see that regardless of how good you are, when you inhale, you can inhale only for so long. After a while, you will have to exhale. True or false? Regardless of how good you are, in this universe, you can inhale, 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 and at one point you have to exhale. Now, when I talk to you, you inhale data. If you don't exhale by writing in the chat, what will happen? You will choke. You will choke from too much data. And that's why I maintain and insist that you will be on the chat. Because otherwise, what I will do, my data will kill you. It will just choke you. Too much information. Did you ever had this situation where someone talked to you and it's just too much information? If it is too much information, it's not because you are married. It is only because your wife don't give you a chance to exhale. Are you with me? She accumulated words and you come home and she just need to. True, exactly. So what I need from you to exhale. When I ask you questions, write in the chat. When you have realization, write in the chat. When you want to ask me a question, write in the chat. This thing have to be interactive. It's not I'm talking and you sitting there as an amoeba and being bombarded by my words. That's not the purpose. It will give you nothing. It will actually, you'll have no real results. What I need from you is participation. You need to put out, you need to excel your viewpoint. Okay, so let's start. Just one more thing, just a legal disclaimer, because we're talking about health and the body and so on. I want to make sure that you don't have misunderstanding, and here it is. Nothing in what I'm saying is intended to be medical advice or suggestion that anyone should act in one way or another. What I'm doing is only asking you to observe and inspect the situation from different viewpoints. I'm not a doctor and I'm not qualified to give medical advice. And nothing I say or present here or in any of the series of videos or posts should be taken as a substitute for professional medical advice. The decision to use or not use the material in this webinar, videos, and in the series and post will be done by the observer and on their sole responsibility. Do we have an agreement? So I'm not giving you a medical advice here. I'm not telling you this is what you should do medically, okay? Perfect. Everyone agreed. Excellent. Good. So let's start. Let's start. This is an adventure. This is really going to be wow. Here we go. Everything I will teach you is not what you expect. It is what you need. If you want to hear more of what you expect, you're in the wrong place. The data I will teach you is designed to bring results. Now, a fake reality is a piece of information you are 100% sure is right, but when you use it, it does not bring the expected results. So fake reality is something that you are 100% sure is right, but when you use it, it doesn't bring the expected result. You are 100% sure that this is the way to handle your children or your parents, but the result is not what you want. It's not more love, nor more cooperation, more admiration. So obviously you have a fake reality. Most people, most of the time fail, and they fail only because they rely on fake realities. And one of the big areas of fake realities is the body. And we are going to clear some of these misunderstandings or lies or fake realities. This series of webinars are designed for the brave, for those who are willing to look, to spot the fake realities, and to become cause over their life. If you're sitting here and you are totally set on your viewpoint, and you are Jewish, and this is what my rabbi tell me, and this is what I'm doing, not a problem. You can do that, but you will be useless. Why? Why? I'll give you an explanation of that. This is really an interesting viewpoint. If this is life, okay, this is full life, okay? Now, when you have a viewpoint and you say, I want to be right, what you say is basically, look, this is my viewpoint, it's right. And how do I know that it's right? Because all the other viewpoints, to one degree or another, are wrong. On the other hand, if I say, I have a viewpoint and I'm willing to entertain all other viewpoints, I will have a much bigger picture of what's going on around me. And of course, as a result, I will have much bigger control of what's going on around me, and control equals income. And income is not only money, income is all the things that you want, is happiness. Income can be admiration, income can be love, income can be just good feeling, whatever you want. And this income is dependent on you controlling the situation, and this control depends on how many viewpoints you have. If you take a car and you are the driver and you have only one viewpoint, just what's ahead of you, but you don't see what's in the sides, you don't see what's behind you, you don't understand what's going on with the engine, you just have one viewpoint. Chances are you're going to have an accident. True or false? Yes. So the more you try to be right, the worse you will get. It is quite amazing. You'll see everyone try to be right and their life get destroyed. So the more you try to be right, which means the more you try to make other people wrong, the more viewpoint you are unwilling to entertain, the worse you will get. So today, this webinar is designed for the brave, for those who are willing to say, okay, I know I have one viewpoint, but in this planet, there is another 8 billion viewpoints, at least, on every subject. So if you are a Democrat, are you actually willing to totally see and accept the other side viewpoint? If you're not, you will fail. If you are totally sure that science is everything, are you actually willing to look at maybe there's another viewpoint about spirituality? And if you're only spiritual, are you actually willing to understand the physical side of things, the science behind it? If not, you will fail. That I can guarantee. So, are you ready to start? Yes. Okay. Okay. Excellent. I love your participation. Okay, here we go. Why would anyone become sick? Why would anyone become sick? How come that you have a body, it's going totally well, and you become sick? Or one child born with the disease and another child don't? Or one guy get all of a sudden sick from smoking, and another guy smoke all his life, and what kills him is his wife. So how come? Bridget, it is a protest against life, you've said. Okay, but how come? Why will someone will protest? Why will you protest? You are the spirit, you are everything. The spirit is this thing that the spirit is this thing that knows. The spirit is this thing that creates life. Out of balance and low tone. Okay, but why? Why will you be out of balance? How come you are out of balance and low tone? What's happened? Like there's a button that someone pressed and you become out of balance and low tone to make someone wrong. Okay, but why would you want to make someone wrong? Even if you understand, let's say you didn't understand that, now you understand. Why will you make someone wrong? And the spirit is perfect, and anything that is not perfect is not you. So why will you want to make someone wrong? Spirit not dealing well, yes, but why? Why all of a sudden the spirit is not dealing well? You understand? There's something that don't make sense. It doesn't make sense that a machine just all of a sudden will stop working. It has a mechanic that called the spirit, and all of a sudden the mechanic cannot fix it. If you have a good mechanic and you take a car, it can fix anything, yes? We don't want it, so we resist, yes. Sympathy with someone who is sick or weak, yes. Not aware that the true you in spirit is responsible to use the body, not serve it. Okay, but you now know it, but still you get sick. And you get seriously sick. Why? Something. If you really realize that something is missing, you will actually start to understand what's going on. The first thing to understand is that there is something that do not make sense. You have the spirit that built the body. You grew your hands, you grew your hair, you grew your eyes, and all of a sudden, one day, you cannot fix cancer, just some kind of tumor. Something do not make sense. It helps someone somehow to be sick. True, but why? Why it helps you? Why the spirit even need help? Isn't it weird? So what we need to look, what I need you to realize is that there's something we don't know. Something is missing. You take a body, and this is a body. It's a machine, yes, it's a physical machine. And all of a sudden you have a heart that beating and lungs that working and hands and legs that moving. And one day the heart stop working properly. So why does it stop? How did it start? How did the heart knows to start? Are you with me? Something here do not make sense. This is the first thing we need to handle. If you want to have your body serving you, you really need to understand how it works. If you want to a car that serves you, that you can fix and decide one day, okay, fine, it's too old, it's not worth it to fix it anymore, I'm going to replace it, you need to understand how it works. Okay, so this is what we're going to deal with. This is the first thing we need to deal with, okay? And here we go. We're going to deal just with that. We'll get into that in a minute, but first, how much time is 1 million seconds? How much time is 1 million seconds? How much time is 1 million seconds? Like, is it a day, 7 days, a year? How much time is 1 million seconds? A 1 million second is actually 12 days, okay? So a day is 24 hours, and every hour have 60 minutes, and every minute has 60 seconds. So if you take 1 million and divide it by 24 times 60 times 60, you will see, which is I think 48,000. I think you will see you'll get 12 days. So far, so good. Everyone with me? I need to give you an order of magnitude of numbers because we're going to deal with numbers. Yes, 11.57 days. Yes, it's more or less 12 days. I'm not getting into nitty-gritty here. I want to give you an order of magnitude, but very well done for actually doing the calculation. Beautiful. Okay, now, how much time is 1 billion seconds? I will help you. It is 32. 32, but not days, years. So the jump from 1 million seconds to 1 billion seconds is 32 years, okay? So when you hear someone saying that he has $1 billion, you get some kind of an idea. Or when someone say billion years, you get some kind of an idea. Or when you hear something is built from 1 billion pieces, you have some kind of an idea. Now, how much time is 1 trillion seconds? How much time is 1 trillion seconds? And you will see within a second how it's all connected to your body and why it's so important that you'll understand it. 5,000 years, 32,000 years, 500 years. Okay. So 1 trillion seconds is 31,688 years, more or less. So 32,000 years. What a jump. Can you understand? The difference between 1 million to 1 trillion is huge. Okay? Now, how many people work for the US government in 2021? And you will see within a second how it's all very much, extremely connected to your health. Nobody, yes, no idea. Harold, you're right. How many people work for the US government in 2021? Don't know. Okay, so in 2021, according to Google, around 18.28 million people were working for state and local government in the United States. Okay, 18 million people. Now, what are those people doing? What are those people are doing? What are they supposed to do? What's the government is doing? The government actually is supposed to at least manage the country. Is that correct? Administer, yes, manage the country. So if we have about 337 million Americans that are managed by more or less 18 million people. So to manage 337 million people or beings, you need about 18 million people. You get the idea. Okay, so there is a kind of a ratio between the size of the organization and how many people or how many beings need to manage that organization. Okay, so far so good? Excellent. Very good. Now, what defines how successful a company is? What defines how successful a company is? What's the thing that 100 times more than anything else define how successful the company is? Profit don't define it. Profit is the result. Profit is the result. Leadership. What defines, what decide? This is what will make this company successful or not. Organization, the speed of implementation, organized. Okay, so what makes a company organized is actually a law that I have that called the 99-1. And what this law says is that the company needs 1% genius, or the company has 1% genius. Genius is 1% in importance. How genius is the product? An iPhone is not genius. There were many iPhones before the iPhones. There were many phones before the iPhone that had a touch screen and only a touch screen. And the iPhone, the first iPhone, was not so good. It was even not working well. So you've got 1% genius. That's the importance of genius. You've got 9% marketing, and 90% of the success has to do with how well are you organized. Are you with me? Yes. Do you know what makes a metal strong or weak? What makes something weak or strong? A piece of a piece of material that is weak will have the atoms in all kind of areas, okay, in all kinds of shapes. A piece of metal that is strong, and if it's hardened, you will see that the atoms are organized like soldiers. They're super organized, and so it become strong. So the more organized you are, the stronger you are. Are you with me? So you can say that the smaller you are, the more you need to be organized, or the bigger you are, the less organized you are, the bigger the disaster, the more damage you will get. And so, how well it is organized, or in other words, how well each part of the organization is able to bring about its expected results. Because only if you are organized will you bring results. Areas in your life that are unorganized, that are mess, you don't have result at. If your mind is in a mess, your mind don't bring you result, it actually destroys you. If you are a hoarder and you have a lot of mess in your house don't bring you result. You have a house of 300 square meter, but you use 3 square meter because all the rest is occupied with noise. So far, so good? So your attention unit, what actually can bring about result, is scattered all over the universe. Now, what defines how successful a country is? What defines how successful a country is? Organization, exactly, how well it's organized. Or in other words, how well each part of the organization is able to bring about the expected result. Very simple, okay? Now, what will happen to an army without a commander? What do you think will happen to an army that has no commander? The commanders are dead. There is only few soldiers that are lost. Chaos, disaster. Fell in chaos, yes. They will become very sick. True or false? Yes, exactly. What happened when the spirit leave the body, when the commander leave? The body disintegrate. When you die, when you leave the body disintegrate. The army lost its commander. Are you with me? Now, what will happen to a country that is divided and unorganized? What will happen to a country that is divided and unorganized? Fail, disintegrate, deteriorate. Exactly. It will fight itself. Exactly. Okay. Now, do you think a group with the size of the USA, 300 and something million people, or even a smaller group can function without any kind of management? Did you ever seen a group that can actually progress without management? So 300 million people cannot survive without management, yes? And would you agree that the smaller the space, the more the group needs to be organized and managed? So if you have 300 million people in the size of the USA, or if they are just in Florida, the management needs to be much better, yes? Do you agree with that? Okay. Now, how many cells are in an average body? How many cells do you think there are in an average body? How many is a lot? Give me an estimate, few millions. Yeah, an estimate. A billion. Okay, billions. Okay. Trillions. 100 trillions to 200 trillions. Okay. The body, an average body, have 37.2 trillion cells. How many US is that? You understand? So all those cells need to be organized in order to function. Those cells, to function properly, must be somehow organized. One cell deliver a message to another cell. All those cells are managed, and the dead ones are being removed, and the noise is being quieted, and the garbage get thrown out, and there is a whole organization. But the organization is not 300 million like in the US. It's 37.2 trillion cells. And you now have the order of magnitude. What does it mean? 37.2 trillion cells. So if the body do not function, it means that those cells stop being organized. And you will see that when you get sick, when the body do not function, the body start to get distorted because the organization breaks. And there's a mess. It's like in your home, if you are not organized, the place do not look nice. Things breaks. Things don't actually function. The same thing apply to your body. All your body problems has something to do with the organizations of those cells, with them producing the expected results. Do you agree? So the missing thing is not that an area is not functioning. The missing thing is that an area is unorganized. The manifestation is that it's not functioning. The manifestation that it's sick. But the problem, the source of the problem is like any business, anything that exchange, the basic problem is organization. And you never, ever thought about organization. And you didn't even know that you have an organization that's running all those cells. And you don't even know who is the boss, and you don't even know almost anything about it. And so you get sick. And if you really got sick with something really bad, is because not only that you didn't know, but you actually believe in some kind of a fake reality. You believe in the opposite. What would happen if the cells were not organized? If each group of cells operated independently of the rest of the body? If the cells of the heart decided that they work too hard and must take a break, what will happen? What will happen if the cells in the heart will say, oh, no, I need a break? Cancer, death, heart attack. Yes. So all the body problem, without exception, is the problem of organizing the cells. All body problems are a problem of organization. It is quite unbelievable. And most people don't even know how to define the word organization, never mind to organize their home. So of course they cannot organize their body. You will see that when people have clutter, when people have unorganized thoughts, when people have, when people cannot organize, first of all, their own mind, the next thing that happened, the family get unorganized, and the next thing that happened, the body get unorganized. A body is a group, is a third dynamic activity. Are you with me? Amazing. So before you get sick, you will see that first of all, you will have some mess up in what you own, which is your mind and the communication with things. So the first thing that happened, the first step in the deterioration is your mind get messed up. And then you will sit in your ability to create, which is the second area. Your ability to create will go weird. And so your family and the children something there will go weird. And the next thing that will happen, you will develop bodily problem. The organization, you will develop an organizational problem that will manifest in the body not operating properly. Are you with me so far? So basically what I'm telling you is that the problem is not that the heart don't beat. The problem is not that you develop some tumor. The problem is you're having a disorganization in your mind that leads to inability to create, that leads to sickness. And we will see what is sickness, what is illness, etc. So far, so good? As I told you, totally different viewpoint about everything. Now, by who and how are they organized and managed? Who and how all these cells are getting organized and managed? Who? The entities, okay, that's wonderful. So the entities manage and they do the work and they're everything. Good question. By who and how? Who and how are they organized and managed? So let's say the entities and the spirit is by who, but how? Are you with me? If you don't know by who and you don't know how, you're basically total effect. You're basically total effect of your body. You cannot cause anything with the body. You can go to the gym, you can eat well, you can sleep well, you can do all kinds of things maybe, but the body will not respond. Did you notice that people go to the gym and they don't get well? They eat well and they don't get well. They sleep well, but they cannot sleep. They still develop all kinds of weird stuff. Because if you don't know who is the manager of the US, and who are those people that work for the government, and who are the people that actually managed, and you think that everyone working for the government, you're a little bit cuckoo. If you don't know, if you want a passport and you don't know where is Home Affairs or where is the Department of State that you need to go to, and you don't know who run this division or who is responsible for issuing a passport, you will go to the police and ask for a passport maybe, or you will go to your neighbor and insist that he will give you a passport. It will be quite insane. That's what happened with most people. They go to their neighbor and ask him to help them to fix the body, or to a doctor. Are you with me? And I don't have anything against doctors, yes? Doctors really know how to fix the mechanics of the body. If a bone is broken, they know how to fix it, but they don't know why the bone got broken. Why did you fail? You didn't fail. You walk over these stairs 50 years, and one day you failed. Why? How would you define organized? So we're talking about we need to be organized. How will you define the word organized? What does it mean to be organized? What does it mean to be organized? How will you define this word organized? When we say we need to be organized, it's all about the organization. The cells need to be organized. Things have a specific place and a specific way it works. Okay, good, Anna. What does it mean to be organized? Every element has a specific place and responsibility. Okay, so let's say I have people that have a specific place. They know they need to sit at their desk and they know this is their responsibility. Are they organized? Just they know this is their place and this is their responsibility. Are they organized? Have power. Okay, so an atom bomb have a lot of power. When it explodes, is it organized or a mess? When things are on their place and there are communication lines between them, which works. So they are in place, there is communication line and the communication line works, but what you put on the communication line is garbage. It's total insanity. by definition, common purpose. So I have a common purpose. Am I organized? All the people in the US have a common purpose. They want the US to succeed. Are they organized? They find subproduct and sequences how to put it together. Okay, so it's defined. So you have an organization chart. Does it mean that you are organized? Common purpose. I have a common purpose. You and your wife has a common purpose to have the best family in the universe. Okay? Did you stop fighting? Did it stop anyone from getting divorced? Willingness to support each other. I'm willing to support my child, and my child is willing to support me. Yet, one thing for sure, we are not organized. There's total fighting, and the child and the parents are not talking, and blah, blah, blah. Chain of commands. Chain of commands is maybe a command channel, but it doesn't mean that it's organized. Have you seen an army that has a very clear chain of command that is in chaos? Yes. So obviously we have a problem with that definition that's called organized. Do you understand? Yet your life depends on you being organized. When all follow the same philosophy. Okay, so Buddhists all follow the same philosophy, and they break down to 60 different type of sects. All the Jewish people have one Bible, one philosophy, 4,000 different beliefs and ways of operating, and endless fighting. Are you with me? Yeah, they need a leader. So they have a leader. Does it mean that they are organized? Can you see that there's a bit of a problem with that word organized? Yes. A whole group of about 30 people coming up with all kinds of ideas, which are good. They're not wrong, but they are not complete. So we have a little bit of a problem. And if you have a problem with defining what is organized, do you think that you as the spirit can organize you? Never mind your body, your home, never mind 32 trillion cells, just your home that composed of a few thousand pieces, maybe. Are you with me? Do you see the problem? So the problem of health has to do with your ability to organize your cells. The problem of health is a problem of organization. When you take a electrical board, what you do, you organize the current. You direct the current in an electrical board. In the iPhone, the current gets organized. It gets moved in a specific way. Are you with me? You control the flows. You know when to start, you know when to change, you know when to stop. Every part has a specific timing, and everything works in an exact trillionth of a second, milliseconds. Everything is organized. There's a clock that defines everything that will happen, and everything is synchronized. So organized means arranged in an efficient way that continuously maximize the production of the expected result with minimum waste and maximum return on investment. So when you have something that are arranged in an efficient way, which means minimum action to maximum reaction, that continuously maximize the production, it's not just there, but it's actually continuously maximize the production of not any production, not heat. You don't warm the office, but the expected result with minimum waste and maximum return on investment. Now we're talking about organization. And you will become sick only if your cells are not organized. The problem of health is the problem of organization. It's not a chemical problem. It's more electrical problem. It's a problem in electronics. It's a problem in controlling the flows of the commands, of the messages, and actually bringing an efficient way that continuously maximize the production. Like when a child grows, he has a very efficient way to continuously maximize the production of expected result. His body grows in a very fast pace with minimum waste. He doesn't waste so much energy. He has endless amount of energy and maximum return on investment. He eats a little bit of milk from his mom, and the body grow every day. Boom, boom, boom. And the further you are from the beginning, the further you are from organizing, up to a point where the mess is so big that you stop growing and old people start to shrink. But everyone in my family got sick at the same time. It's fine, so it means nothing. Still, it's a problem of organization. Why it's happening, why at the same time, why in different times, etc. We will find, but still a problem of organization. Because we said that what caused the organization, what started is the mind. So if in your family, everyone has something bad in the mind that happened, there's an explosion and everyone is afraid, and everyone now, their mind is bad, obviously the creation will stop and the organization will stop. It will seem that it's coordinated because they all went through some kind of an incident that somehow affected their mind. Are you with me? Everyone with me? This is a different, totally different viewpoint. Your health issues is an organizational issue. It was right after my ex took the kids on an extended trip without me. Amazing. Amazing. Okay. So we have to get entities under control. We have to do a little bit more than that, but entities is one part. First of all, we need to understand who, how, and what are we, who is responsible for the passports? Where is it? How do I communicate with this guy? Does he speak Chinese or English or Hebrew? How do you communicate to him? How do you actually get to see him? You need to get to understand, first of all, how the organization works before you can actually be part of the organization, or before you can help to get a system organized, or before you can actually help the system. Imagine you have a new manager that arrived and he doesn't know anything about the organization. He doesn't know. He came up from a different area and he came up with from a different organization, but he is the son of the daughter of the owner. And he comes in and he knows nothing about the organization. He starts to manage the organization that he doesn't even actually aware that exists. What will happen? What will happen? Chaos. A disaster. So imagine that this is a body, and the body has 32 billion people working for it, okay? And this is a new body, it's a baby. And now a new spirit show up. It comes from a totally different body, totally different size. Actually, it comes from a body that was in even a different planet. He used to run a doll body, not an actual physical body, a human body. And he comes and he says, okay, I'm the boss. What will happen? Do you understand? The problem is that you, the spirit, take a body and you don't know how to organize. You understand that? You don't actually know how to organize. That's your problem. You need to first understand the subject of organization before you can improve your body. So let's start to learn about the body. First of all, we'll learn about some definitions, and then we will learn how to actually organize. So interesting. Yes, you really need to know that. If you want to handle your body, if you want to be able to decide positively, okay, I want a new body, Or if you want to have the body and say, no, I like this body, I want to make it work for another 20 years, no problem. If you want to live your life and actually get the body serving you and not being a burden for you, you really have to understand this material. It will definitely change your life. You need to learn how to get organized. And by the way, it will also help you in your life. Because if you know how to get organized, you can organize a business, you can organize your family, you can organize anything, and you will get the income that is the result of that control. Are you with me? So, how do you get organized? What's the steps? How does it all coming together? This is exactly what we will do in the next webinar. Okay. And we will continue with this journey. And what I'm expecting from you is, if you think that this is amazing and helpful and powerful, get many more people to join us. You will see that what I'm going to teach you in the next lesson not only will put you in a position that you will be able to heal your body, but you will be able to create your body. And by the way, as a side note, in the process, if you will actually apply what I'm going to give you, money will come to you. You will also have money, which is obviously, I'm Jewish. I have to somehow connect it to money. Okay, that's all for today. Thank you very much. And thank you, each one of you, for actually participating in the chat. It makes all the difference that there is an actual communication, that you are not sitting on the other side like a dead body and just listening. But the most important thing, go online, share your realizations, tell to people that they need to know that, because most people have physical problems and also personal problems and so on, and it's all coming from the same source. They don't know how to organize. Okay, that's all. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.